you doing? This is Coach Carvel Bailey. Today, I want to share with you a conversation that I've had with about 4 people over the last 5 to 7 days. Two friends, one coach, and one student. And the conversation has really been the same. It's to help with the misconception that most parents, most players, and even some youth coaches or even high school coaches may have about spring and summer basketball. So speaking with a buddy of mine, and he was telling me how he and his wife were going to start pulling their kid back from AAU, from playing so much AAU, because with the money that they're spending on traveling, the money that they're spending on hotels, with the money that they're spending on the actual team or program, and then the money that they're spending on the couple private trainers that they have. You know, I always do that because I don't use that word, but a couple private trainers that they have, it's not really getting them anywhere. And so had the same conversation with the parent. He was talking about how his son went and played. They were in the gym for about 5 hours, and the team went 1-2. Speaking with a player, the player was saying how he was frustrated. He's not really playing a lot. Wish that he could be playing more. And then finally, I spoke with another coach who was just, speaking of how he doesn't like traveling all over the country, so to speak, just to play basketball games, but he has to, kind of fight to keep players because parents want to leave his program and go to programs that has more traveling on the circuit, and they're in the places with the college coaches. So here's the conversation that I had with them. Couple different things. One, and before I get into that, please go check out my YouTube page. I'm not sure where you're seeing this at, but check out my YouTube page at Coach Carvel Bailey. Go check out my YouTube page. Loads and loads and loads of free information just like this that will help you. Okay? Now, here we go. This is what I told all 4 of them. I said, let's look at it in terms of numbers and not even pricing. It doesn't matter how much you're paying for the lodging, for the transportation, the gas, to play on the team, any of that. Let's look at the numbers in terms of time. You might be able to get some of that money back, but let's look at the time being wasted. They could be doing other things, especially for the parents, including earning extra money with that time. So now, parent has spent 5 hours in the gym. Team played 3 games in 5 hours. The average player, and I mean average, that he's playing a lot, that average player is probably going to be on the court in 5 hours, which is 300 minutes. So in 300 minutes, that player would have probably been on the court every bit of 45 to 90 minutes. Out of 300 minutes, they were on the court between 45 and 90 minutes, and the 90 minutes is pushing it. So now, let's look at this. During that same 45 to 90 minutes, that student athlete probably touched the ball between 8 and 30 times. Between 8 and 30 times touched the ball. Now, those same 5 hours, those same 8 to 30 touches, those same 45 to 90 minutes on the court, they probably shot the ball every bit of, let's say, 5 to 20 shots. So you spend 5 hours in the gym. That's not counting driving. You spent 5 hours in the gym after you paid that money, and you sat in the gym to watch your student athlete. Your student athlete probably was on the court between 45 and 90 minutes. probably touched the ball, anywhere between 8 and 15, 20 times. Probably shot the ball anywhere between 5 and 20 shots. This was my recommendation to all three because it was a similar but different conversation with the coach. This is my recommendation, was my recommendation for all three. This is the time where you should be developing your child or your student athlete. This is the time where development is more important than playing games, because if they aren't being developed, now they're playing and they're picking up habits, and those habits are bad, so now they're practicing bad habits over and over and over again. But all that they know, all that the parents know, is that they're playing and they're in the gym. But that's 5 hours. Now, and they went to Waukegan, where I'm at. Even from Chicago, it's a good hour drive. So hour there and back on the small end, that's 2 hours. Now that day is 7-hour day for your student athlete to shoot anywhere between 5 and 20 shots. When they could go and get in the gym and work on their skill development for at least an hour, and that's an hour on the court that they got with multiple reps, touching the ball, going through the motions, working on their game, getting great shots up, not only getting shots up, but making shots. That's the difference. And when I explained it to the one parents and the one student athlete, they were like, I never thought about it that way. I said, I know. Most don't think about it that way. And this is not to slam Dan's AAU. I think if you've been following me long enough, you know my feelings. There's not a lot of integrity in it. There are some great programs, but there's not a lot of integrity in it. And there's a lot of misleading information for parents and student athletes. And now for my